The journey continues. Our trip from Malaga to Barcelona consisted of 2 trains with a stop in Madrid in between, which in total took about 6 hours. Although there wasn't much to see, I actually enjoyed looking at the surroundings. The train was super fast, going up to 300 kilometers an hour. One thing we noticed in Spain is that the lifts are barely made for more than 1 person, let alone 2 people with 2 large suitcases and a bike. We often had to go up one at a time. The first thing that really struck me once we got off the train was the memorial for Liam Payne. The former member of One Direction had died just a few days earlier. I don't know if he had a specific connection to Barcelona, but there were many candles, flowers, and tears that went on for days. Once again, I cannot pronounce Spanish words and names, but we were staying in a hotel off the famous street La Rambla, which had this large food market towards the end. It was so colourful, packed with lots of fresh fruit and different types of candy. While packing my bike a couple nights earlier, I noticed an important piece from my bike bag wasn't quite doing its job in keeping the frame together. Dad did some research and found a local bike shop that may have had the piece I needed. While they didn't have what I was looking for, I was so impressed with how large the store was, the fact that they knew what I was talking about, and all the super pretty bikes. You'd struggle to find that back in Melbourne. I asked my Nirvana triathlon friend Fernanda, who is from Barcelona, where her favourite churro shop is. We got standard churros with hot chocolate sauce and it was delicious. We then started our trek to Sagrada Familia. There were plenty of buildings designed by Antoni Gaudí in hidden streets and on main intersections, often attracting big crowds. We finally reached Sagrada Familia. Construction began in 1882, and after 140 years, work still continue. The completion date has been announced for 2026, but who knows if it'll actually be finished by then. To go inside, you have to book tickets weeks, if not months in advance, so Mum and I missed out this time. I hope to come back one day when it's finished to see every inch of this beautiful church. Now we're coming up to the Cathedral of Barcelona. I think I liked this one more than Basilica Familia, probably because it wasn't surrounded in scaffolding. It was also a little quieter, low-key, and the busker sounded beautiful. I stood here for a while. I enjoyed people watching and soaking in the vibe. We then continued on through the streets and around various other churches and cathedrals. I'm not sure what this is. It looks like a bunch of really big paper clips. Then it was time for lunch, where our entertainment was not the most pleasant. The poor little guy on the bench wasn't enjoying it either. He got up and moved soon after this video. Here we have another building of some sort, another laneway, and another church. The following day we went to Park Güell, designed by Antoni Gaudí. I almost wish I had taken notes during this tour. Our guide was amazing. She answered all sorts of questions and it seemed she knew everything, even the things you wouldn't even think of. There was so much she said that I knew I wanted to share with you guys, but unfortunately I can't remember much. Perhaps it was a good thing though that I wasn't busy taking notes, as it allowed me to really immerse myself in the experience. If you ever get the chance to visit Park Güell, I highly recommend booking a tour. We were really lucky with the weather too, and the very talented buskers. What I do remember is that these seats are incredibly well designed, with a back's natural arch in mind, as well as perfectly rounded arrangements to enable conversation and comfort. I'm going to take a moment to sit back and let you enjoy the serenity without my croaky voice over the top.
I wish I knew how it would feel to be free. I wish I
On the way back to the hotel, I fell for a tourist trap. I was amazed at how many pigeons were in one spot until I saw someone feeding them. Mind you, I knew if I took bird feed from this woman, she was going to demand money, but Mum encouraged me to do it anyway.
Oh my goodness! I feel like it's gonna Let's see how many you can get on here, Zoe. 5.
After having a good shower and washing off any pigeon remains left on my body, it was time to go to a flamenco show down the road. I felt like I was working up a sweat just watching them. I quite enjoyed the show. Oh look, there's my pretty little mother. We then wandered the plazas and streets with no final destination in mind. We followed the sounds of some amazing voices, more buskers in the streets making the most of the outdoor acoustics. My iPhone camera and sound does not do the nighttime justice. We found our way back in front of the Cathedral of Barcelona, and it looked magical at night. To finish our stay in Barcelona, Mum and I treated ourselves to the sweetest crepes we could find. They looked amazing. So amazing that I didn't have a chance to snap a photo of it because I devoured it in no time. The next morning, we were off to the airport to head back to Copenhagen. Thankfully, public transport in Barcelona was a lot more reliable than in Malaga. That's it for now. Stay tuned for the last episode of Zoe and Julie Mum's Europe adventure coming to my channel soon. See ya!